hive cluster is under attack.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be Movie and Larva here on Blockchain, a ridiculous map and a ridiculous game according to RJB, who sent me this replay. Top left going to be a purple Protoss, it is a Movie, and on the top right it's going to be Larva. Larva fans are a lot of the Zerg fans, right? If you're a Zerg fan, Larva is probably one of your favorite players, and we will see how he does today here on a blockchain. It is a map that encourages dropping because, yeah, so this is basically an island expansion, and there's one here and here and here. So island expansions abound on this map. So we'll see what openers that these players go with. Hit that like button if you're excited for a ZVP featuring Larva. RJB sent this replay to me today. It's from 2019. And since it's a ridiculous game with Movie versus Larva, I'd suggest this to be a high priority. So I said, all right, I'm going to cast it today and post it. Whenever the schedule says, I will post it. So it's a gateway opening here on the low ground here from Movie. And it's going to be a hatch first play here from Larva at 12 supply or 11 supply, right around there. Are we going to do a probe cross map scout? Huh. Interesting. So yeah, hatch first from Larva against a gateway first here from Movie. So Zealots are in your future here, Larva, but that is no stranger to Larva here, the orange Zerg. Did he check? Yeah, I think he saw this Overlord and said, alright, so the Zerg's in the top right. Thank you, Overlord, for letting me know. I do appreciate our little cooperation in there. Oh, let's see. Had somebody request that I just not zoom in and out? Just basically one set camera position or camera zoom level and just leave it there. So we'll try that. We'll try that today and see how it works out. Let me know in the comments if you agree with the person who requested that. Robert the Zealot moving out. Oh, never mind. This is Robert. Robert the Zealot moving out. The drone says, I'm going to block the ramp with my body. And 3 sets of lings on the way, but not here yet. So, microing the drones. Oh, into a surround? Okay. Took about half the shields off of Robert the Zealot here. Positioning behind the mineral line. His friend shows up. And lings. 3? Yeah. That position is basically 3 lings can attack. Oh. 3 kills. And 1 kill here. Both Zealots are still alive. Oh, re-attack. That probe is attacking through the mineral line. And helping his friends. Run, Mr. Probe. Both of your Zealot buddies are dead. The Zealot says, okay, I know when I am not wanted. When my friends inside that base are dead. Nexus, warping in right about now. And gas finishing up at the same time. So, saturating the gas with 3 probes. Forge. Cannon on the way. To defend against these lings that we forced out by making Zealots go into the Zerg base. And can we save? Can we save this gateway? Yeah, we can. We can. The cannon is done. And no, they would really like to kill that Zealot, but Mr. Cannon here says no. 3rd base timing. At about 5-minute hatching time here for Larva on the bottom side. Low ground. Yeah, low ground for Protoss, high ground for Terran. on 4-player maps of this nature. Again, first 100 gas to a lair, second 100 gas to metabolic boost. Come on. Come on, metabolic boost. Probe says, all right, so third base on the way. It's not going to be a 2-base play. Very, very good. No. Hydralisk Den for the next gas. All right. Lings trying to knock down these eggs. Probe says, I can get there, I can get through there, but you can't. Ha 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 ha. And 4 zealots on the way to the third base. Uh-oh. There's nothing in position here to scout these 4 zealots that are marching down to the bottom right corner. These lings are like, alright. Oh. Okay, fair enough. Maybe it's a 6th sense that Larva has. Like, okay, I can sense that my third base is in danger, and aha, what do we see here? Zealots. Ah, you naughty zealots. Okay, no sunken here. So we've got what? 4 zealots versus a bunch of lings, 11 lings. So not quite enough lings to actually fight this. Okay, so more popping. Hydras are on the way. Corsairs being produced. Nothing too crazy here in this game thus far. And yeah, pretty darn standard opening. Citadel finishes. Zealot legs are on the way. That Zealot speed upgrade coming in. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys saw it or not, but last week I did post a StarCraft 2 versus Brood War game, which is a new mod that was added into StarCraft 2. It adds all the Brood War units. You can actually play like as a Brood War Protoss player in this mod against other, Brood War races or against StarCraft 2 races as this Corsair gets an Overlord kill. Nicely done. So, it didn't get a lot of attention. I feel like most of you guys didn't click on it, which is, I don't know. I just feel like of all the many StarCraft fan bases that are out there, like my StarCraft 2 fans really hate Brood War, and my Brood War fans really hate StarCraft 2. Like, to an extent that I don't quite understand. Like, I don't know, like, Artosis can post something StarCraft 2 versus Brood War, and his dudes are like, cool. But you guys are like, nah, not into that stuff. I don't get it. Really don't understand it. I love all StarCraft. I understand I'm kind of in the minority there, but... Ooh, that +1 attack is denied. That's huge. The Zealots came out way too late, movie. If you're going to try to save that, you really need to move out more quickly than that. We're just going to let this die, too. Wow, these Zealots are just letting that die too. By golly. So Gateway dies. +1 attack for the Zealots is denied. And the Forge goes down. Replacement Forge is on the way. Yeah, this hurts. This really, really, really puts the Zerg player ahead here. Larva is on fire. He's on fuego. This is crazy stuff. I mean, man, losing that Gateway. See, this is what you should have done. I guess you wanted a couple more Zealots before you moved out like this, but obviously there's enough now. Zergling's trying to make sure there's not a third base being snuck down here, a ninja third, potentially. These guys would be so much scarier if they had the +1 attack here. They're going to fall back because they're like, I don't know, we don't want to fight with a bunch of Hydras and a bunch of Lings. Larva is one of those players that really hates Sunkens to an extent that I worry about him, but he's also good enough that he kind of can overcome the sheer lack of Sunkens at bases for huge Zealot attacks like this. Yeah, these Lings are just kind of trying to buy time. Trying just to make sure the Zealots don't jump on this with their numbers. I mean, that's a lot of Hydras out, man. Hydras down at the third base, Hydras at the natural base. They've got no attack upgrades yet, and none are forthcoming, but they have speed, which is nice, and the range upgrade too. But guess what? Storm is just about done, and High Templar are happy to hear that, because if they don't have Storm research, they're kind of just hanging out, I guess. They could feed back. No, Dark Archons can feed back. They can... They have to research Hallucination. They have to research Storm. Okay, bad times. Anyway, Ling Hydra. Storm is done, though. That is a game changer, game saver here for movie. Whew, boy. So glad that that storm is complete. Really timed that out quite nicely as Larva shows up with a million hydras and can't do much because storm exists. Also, speed lots are pretty good in this situation too. Throws down a Spire, I guess maybe to try to deal with the Corsairs on some level, as there are a couple of them. There's only 2, and they're not getting +1 here today. Robotics facility coming in, because with this many hydras, you're probably going to get lurkers, and lurker aspect is getting started here now. An Archon is on the way, I guess just to help deal with any Zerglings that might be part of this Hydra group, because if it's mass Hydra, oh, good juke. No, not enough of a juke. Hydras chase down that Corsair and blow it up. 2 Corsairs is way better than 1 Corsair, but 1 Corsair can kind of get the job done. I'll have 2 Corsairs at this stage, which is scouting around for the most part. Trying to find overlords out on the map and killing them. Look at these guys hiding next to Tracy's armory. We see you back there, boys. Yeah, so 121 to 78 supply. Protoss players up. It's a lot of Hydras, which are very low supply and very effective. I'm still... Okay, there are some Sunkens here at the natural base. Okay, and a bunch of Sunkens at the third too, so never mind. We're good. We're doing just fine on static defense. Larva just waited until like the last possible minute to get it. So Lings jump up, try to soften these Zealots, try to soften these Dragoons, try to pick off a High Templar down here to the south of the engagement, and they do not get one. Not even really all that injured either. Archon, blah, blah, big hits. Oh my gosh, the Sunkens are gone. Here at the natural base, Lings and Hydra trying to swing up the backside, try to get a flank up, but the Storms were waiting for that. High Templar hugged themselves and turned into an Archon here too. The Lurkers managed to bust it in and save the day. Obs is coming over, but does get sniped. Beautiful Obs snipe there. Oh my gosh, that's humongous for Larva. These Lurkers being undetected, everything right now. I think that would be the end of the game for Larva, except another Obs gets sniped. Except these Lurkers exist, and they're invisible, and Movie cannot engage into this position without losing everything. Dude, that's huge. This Ob sniping from Larva is disgustingly good. Still no sign of a third base here. Movie is just kind of like, well, let's just try to 2-base this thing, I guess. Blockchain, maybe a map he doesn't feel comfortable expanding on all that much. Once again, oh, is that a trap? Lurker trap! Lurker trap! Engage! Oh, huge Lurker trap. We don't see this against Protoss hardly ever. He engages the Lurker trap on a Protoss force. Makes him think there are no Lurkers here, and then, bam, unleashes the power of the splash damage. That's crazy. That's so crazy. More Sunkens being replaced here at the natural base. I guess recognizing at some point that maybe there will be so many Obs he can't snipe them all. High Templar too. High Templar gets sniped by Lings there. Not bad. They don't have Adrenal because there's not a high back here in Zergland whatsoever. But really, what is this? Oh, it is a Nexus. It was like 3 cannons in the center. Nope. Movie says, I don't want to expand to any of these other weird bases. I'm going to take the center for my third base, which counts as the third base and a fourth base, sort of. There's 2 gas here. There are 5 mineral patches on both sides for a total of 10 mineral patches, compared to like this expansion, which has 6 mineral patches. So it's almost full 2 bases. It'll give him basically, I don't know, 3 3/4 bases if this thing gets up. But the Lings scouted it. They got down here and said, what is this cheekiness? What is this? Ah, Lurkers. Reaver tech is on the way. Overlord transport coming in here too. Ventral Sags. But Zerg fans are like, where's your hive, dude? Where is it? Why do you on earth do you not have a hive yet? At 14 minutes, you're not even starting one. You don't have a queen's nest yet. You can't even start making a hive right now if you thought about it. So I don't know if I like this from Larva. We do see from time to time Zerg players feeling like they can just win with Hydra Lurker Ling. And I mean, I can't necessarily disagree with it. It can be done. But, oh, Scourge, they do get the Obs. This sucks for Movie, man. He's lost a bunch of Obs today. That is just absolutely crushing. Three lurkers. Nice one escapes. But yeah, if Reaver tech with Archons, with Dragoons, with Zealots, I mean, all of this stuff is going to trade pretty darn well with what Larva is rolling with. If he's not going to get Dark Swarm and he's not going to get Plague. Yeah, the Dragoons. The Dragoons are just going to love their life. You can almost just straight up win with Mass Dragoon against Zerg if they don't have Dark Swarm available. I mean, you do want some Zealots for the Lings that are indefinitely, that are going to show up. Indubitably going to show up. What's the word I'm looking for there? I don't know. Vocabulary time with Falcon, huh? So knocking down these two assimilators locks this off to everything but ghosts, I think. And there are no ghosts here because there are no Terrans. 3 Dark Templar being produced. That's a lot of fun. So contain here at the 3rd base. 4th base is up. But man, if you just wandered a couple Reavers in. God, these Reaver shots. Okay, 1 sunken dies. Zealots go in there to try to finish it off. Spore goes down. Obs can park a little bit further forward now that the Spore is gone. So this contain is rad. Oh, we are lurker harassing here, aren't we? That's what this is. This is lurker harassing from the other side of the wall, which is why center's hard to hold. Because tanks can set up over here. Dragoons can set up over here. Lurkers can set up over here. Really harass. Remember when I was like, Larva is not using sunken. Oh, lurker drop at the natural base, though. 8 kills on that lurker. This is a huge deal for Larva. Just completely shutting down the mining at this natural base. There's a very brave probe down here harvesting gas by itself. At some point, you guys don't have enough energy for storms. Yeah, that's fair. Reaver. Oh, that Reaver shot up the ramp. That's so good. So good. Okay, gonna try to just kind of go for it now. Sunken's up. Reavers getting big-time hits off. The overwhelming Protoss force. Some Mutas have joined the party. Sure, guys. Guess you're here to try to snipe High Templar, but also there are Archons and Dragoons in the mix. Not really working out, and this 3rd base of Larva is dead. There's no saving it. Meanwhile, back at the natural base, 9-kill lurker gets cleared out. 2 kills on that guy. He gets killed too. And this 4th base is gonna die. Look, this center right side 3 o'clock base has been taken. Has been taken by Larva. So yeah, he's gonna lose his 4th. He's gonna lose his 3rd. He's gonna go back up to 3, but Movie has the center. Is there more lurker? There are more lurker. This one is still here? Is there another one somewhere? Oh, there's one over here. I don't know what's going on. Ling's trying to jump on this cannon and take it down, but it doesn't go super well for them because there's a Reaver in that position. So it is a 3-basing Larva versus... Is this Larva? It drops more lurkers back here. Well, I mean, this one's in range of a cannon, so it's not going to last very long. But, you know, 5 kills is not nothing. The Mutas are going to try to jump on this center base that Movie has taken. Movie's bringing his forces back. Oh, every splash damage shot that an Archon gets on a Muta. 17 kills on this Archon, by the way. Ooh, good snipe on that shuttle. There are probably High Templar in there. Good ob snipe, too. Yeah, man, Larva's really focusing on the ob snipes today, and I like it. I like it a lot from him. 12 o'clock base attempting to be taken here by Larva. Get back up to 4 bases and try to compete with what's going on here. Maelstrom getting researched. Let's go, Maelstrom. Let's do this thing. Anything else going on back in Protossville? Not really. His natural base is up. It's 25 probes to 38 drones. So worker deaths here for the Protoss have been a lot more than he wanted. But base death for Larva has been more than he wants too. It's a surprisingly high muta count here, but I guess it was only 2 Corsairs that got produced, right? And I think both the Corsairs are down, so I don't know, maybe the time of the muta has arrived, but that's what Maelstrom is for, right? You can see this. Yeah. Movie can see this up here, so he's going to send some Dragoons up, try to dissuade these guys from getting in. +3 attack Dragoons versus no upgrade Mutas. Ooh, DT cancels the base. That Larva was trying to sneak down here at the 6 o'clock. MUTAS can't stop it from getting canceled, but they can kill the DT and then allow the space to be replanted. Yeah, man, this is a lot of Mutalisks in the game. 5 Archons at a time being produced, recognizing the threat of the Mutalisks here. And the Archons need to be babysitting these High Templar especially. If they get sniped out, that really reduces the effective power of a Protoss army. So movie at 20 minutes is basically like, I don't know if I want to expand again. And Larva's expanding like crazy. He's just not retaking the bases that he lost earlier. Big old drone transfer up to this 12 o'clocker. 45 drones to 23 probes, or 29 probes. It's pretty good. This is definitely a good place for the Zerg player to be. He's recovered pretty well. Well, there you go. We do get a 4th base down here in the bottom left. Natural for movie. 4 more DTs being produced here. See, now, here's the trick. You can't really access this without dropping on it at this stage. Right? Or gaining access to these high ground positions, which is really tricky. Yeah, this is pretty safe as far as, you know, it's an island expansion. Although, I mean, it's Protoss, right? So we might see some recalls in there. We might end up seeing some just regular shuttle drops in those positions. That's the tech that's available to movie right now. But yeah, we could see some Maelstrom Storm combos, which are also very fantastic. Look at this Sky Zerg army. We're going to give... No, not going to give him upgrades. Going to get a high, finally, at 21 minutes. A second Spire is coming in. I don't know if this is because he's planning on getting upgrades and maybe going into Guardians on this map. Not a bad map, honestly, for Guardians, as far as maps are concerned. But, yeah, this 4th base... Is it salvageable? Oh, that's... No, the Mutas know the threat. Maelstrom! Ooh! Catches a big chunk. A big... I gotta zoom in for thumbnail there, though. Sorry. We're back. We're back to zoom level. So some of the Mutas got caught there. But, you know, Maelstrom doesn't actually do any damage. So they're alive. And... Oh, this is a Maelstrom and a half. No! Not enough energy. Not enough energy. Dark Archon. Blat. Abrupt death animation. One of my favorites in the entire game. They just explode immediately. Yeah, man. The time of the Mutalisks in ZVP. What is this? What are these shenanigans we're looking at? So Larva's recovered pretty well from losing his 3rd base and his 4th base. He's expanded 3 times since then. This Nexus does end up getting saved. Bottom left, 4th base for movie. It's important with the amount of bases that Larva has managed to take here. Finally, we get Adrenal at 23 minutes. Ridiculous wait for Adrenal glands here. I'll still no Defiler Mount. I guess if you're throwing a ton of gas into Mutas like this, you probably don't have a lot of gas available for Defilers. Splits off. Mutas. Like, come on. Is he begging to get Maelstrom? He's asking for it. Not happening. There we go. Big Maelstrom. And then can you get a Storm in there in time? There we go. There it is. Oh, gosh. All the Mutas evaporate. Absolutely brutal stuff. Hey, guess who got a Ling Lurker Hydra drop inside the main base of Movie, though? Movie! Gonna lose a lot of production here if he doesn't get back here soon. He is sending his army back and back and back right now, but these Adrenalings are having a wonderful time on these buildings. They don't have any attack or armor upgrades, but they've got Adrenal. And that means they've got it where it counts. Now, this Lurker spread is beautiful from Larva. Really hard for more than one Storm to hit more than one of these guys. Hydras and Lings try to bust on in. Try to help their Lurker buddies with this. I don't know about this. Main Nexus goes down. It wasn't providing really any value whatsoever here anyway. And it looks like we will clean this up if you're a Protoss fan. The movie does manage to clear this out. These Overlords going down actually might supply... No, not really going to supply block. Larva here. He's at 130 out of 166 available. Hang on, hang on. Okay, so he did lose quite a bit of supply. Are we really going to let this Overlord live? No. Yes. Kind of. No, this Dragoon gets him. First kill is an Overlord. Not bad for a Dragoon. Expanding bottom left now is Movie. So Movie loses basically the entire main base. Forge still working on upgrades, though. That doesn't get canceled this time around. That is an unpowered gateway. Might want to consider repowering. But, dude, it's another drop from Larva. Bottom left here. This base is in an immense amount of trouble. I tell you. Movie supply block. Maelstrom Storm, top of the ramp. The Hydras can't really hold. Storming the Lurkers as best as possible here, too. Where are the obs? There we go. 2 obs wander in. And that's really important stuff. And you know what? It looks like Movie's going to be able to clean this one up without losing his Nexus. Losing the main Nexus, not as big of a deal, but losing this new source of income, bottom left Nexus, would be brutal. Overlords evacing this time successfully. It would be a pretty severe supply block if all of those Overlords died. So Larva saving them this time. Anyway. And Larva expanding bottom right. He's got some drones over here to try to saturate it as soon as it comes up. It's going to be a minute before that happens, but still. 37, 38 probes. Probes are just not having the best day here for Movie. These guys probably need to get back to work, or if they've never worked, they should start working. This bottom left base is a good source of income, too. There's an idle probe in this location, too, that Movie needs to get going. Finally, Defiler round goes down. And Consume is on the way. Every Zerg player breathes a sigh of relief that that's happening. Like, why do Zerg players stress us out so bad? I love sending 0-0 MUTAS in here to finish off the buildings in the main base of Movie to force him back in here and just kind of deal with it. Hilariously. Okay, again, this man has 2 spires. I do not know why. Maybe for tech redundancy. Actually, I don't know where the other spire is. Did his spire potentially get sniped, and that's why he built another spire? And I thought he was getting double spire, but he wasn't. High ground lurker says no. 45 probes. Wow. That's a nice come up here for Movie on that probe count. Okay, but he definitely was making a spire after he already had a spire. So I don't... Did I miss some kind of a DT snipe of his spire? I must have. I must have missed the DT snipe of the spire and saw the replacement of the spire and assumed that it was a second spire. Anyway, I'm going to stop saying spire now. Larva, bottom right, replacing his 3rd and his 4th bases. Maelstrom catches a single... There we go. A single Hydralisk. 2nd Maelstrom, a little bit better. Storm in general, very, very good here. Plague's getting researched. Always a major game changer, that upgrade. But, I don't know. It's a lot of Archons and Dark Archons here, which do not care about your Plague. Adrenaling trying to snipe down a High Templar. Archons are like, we got you, bros. Yeah, this is a pretty desperate defense down here from Larva. I don't know. This is really just not doing much for me, Larva. Why are you trickling Lings into this? I know you have Adrenal and stuff. Okay, everybody gets caught on the ramp. They got +1 Carapace now, which means they're moderately more difficult to deal with, but yeah. This is a kind of a trickle reinforcement here. Is he really? Another Maelstrom on Lurkers above ground. 2nd Maelstrom. Catching like a couple Lings. This guy got Maelstromed and survives. Wait, is that a Maelstrom on a Lurker that was burrowed? That's not possible. I don't know what that was. It's working, though. There's just not a lot of Zealots here, right? You want a bunch of Zealots. They need to tank the damage. Dark Archon sniped. Another Maelstrom. Allowing Movie to win yet another engagement here. This is so crazy. This might be the most Maelstroms I've ever seen in a single game of Brood War. Tons of fun that way. Wow. Okay, so it's 158 to 140 supply. Movie's up. Movie's pretty happily on about 3, almost 4 mining bases. If we don't count center as 2 bases. This has been pretty happy. This 12 and 6 o'clock here from Larva, I don't think they've been bothered today, and I would not like to believe that Movie doesn't know this base exists. He knows this one's here because he denied it once. But if he just doesn't simply know that these bases exist, I'm worried about him. Replacement observatory on the way. Recognizing that lurkers are still a major problem. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but when your enemy's going just a lot of Archons, Hydras are just the best answer in the world here. Okay, these Adrenalings have more plans in them. They're heading somewhere. Probably going to get spotted by something, though, right? Be shocked if these don't get spotted by something. This Archon actually patrolling over here does catch them. Oh, but I don't know. I don't know if Movies saw this. Ooh, I don't know. He's trying to make sure there's not a Nexus here. If there's not, we'll continue down on south and try to drop on this base. There's a DT here and a bunch of cannons. I'm going to remind you, none of these things are splash damage. So drop it on it with a bunch of Lings and like a Defiler would be sick. But I don't think we brought a Defiler to this party. Bit of a problem, if you ask me. If you're trying to drop on a base with 1,000,000 cannons. Larva just poking in different Hydra groups at the front here, trying to thin this out. Okay, Reavers are back in the comp. Just because, well, they're always good. I guess if your enemy is going for mass, I don't know, like Skyzer, Muta, Devourer, Guardian, and maybe investing in Reavers is not the greatest idea. They have the upgrade. They do not have the attack upgrade. Shuttle gets wiped out. Plague! Ooh! Feedback on the Defiler, but already threw his Plague down. Sorry. Sorry, friends. This is so hard to break. I mean, the saving grace here for Movie is that this isn't going uphill. Dude, the Observer snipings today have been too good. Okay, both Reavers get sniped after taking a full Plague. That's going to shut down this attack. Yeah, man, I think Larva might have this thing. What a crazy game this has been, though. Definitely ridiculous. It's just these bases living with no Reaver drops or anything on them. I mean, Larva could not have asked for a bigger gift than that. And I just think that, if anything, is what's allowing Larva to be in this position he's in right now, which is technically down about 50 supply to the Protoss, which I'm surprised by. But these positions just do not seem approachable, attackable. I mean, the Zerg player is really entrenched in here. It's a lot of Sunkens. It's a lot of Lurkers. They've got +3 attack, obviously. There's a Dark Swarm. I was like, why are we just sending Lings all over the place? Well, because we have a Defiler. Center base, alive. Defiler, architect of all of this madness. Staying alive for now, and Movie says it's time to go. Let's try to do this thing. Hydra's trying to snipe the Reaver, maybe? I don't know. Sunken's really sniping that Reaver. Oh gosh, another Reaver goes down. I just think Movie might be running out of steam here a little bit. But reinforcing DTs are joining this party, because why not? Who likes the DT at the 33-minute mark of his EVP? Everybody does. I love this one Lurker and one Hydra coming to reinforce on the back side. And yeah, this Protoss army's getting wiped out. Remember when it was a 50 supply advantage? Dude, what is this? Okay, we brought more Lings and the center base is dying. The dream is over for Movie. This all gets killed. Larva just took the lead here massively. Movie just went from being at maxed out supply down to 100 supply. And it's 130 supply here from Larva, and it's just these outer lying bases. It is. I mean, I haven't cast a lot of games on blockchain, but I feel like nice Maelstrom there too. Oh my gosh, another Maelstrom. That totally saved this base, by the way. That was a big trouble for this center here. But yeah, I don't know if I've cast a game on Nemesis or Blockchain, which have these very similar island expansions. You can turn them into island expansions on Nemesis, where the Zerg player has taken them and there's just been no harassment of them at all. No DT drops, no Storm drops, no Reaver drops. Just kind of trying to play this thing straight up is movie, which I don't agree with at all. He's been making shuttles with Reavers, but only to bring stuff to the front lines. It's been for direct engagements here. I don't know if he thinks... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ah! The Lurker, Trap, Maelstrom, Plague. That was a Plague combo. My gosh, that was disgusting. Disgusting. Oh, no. Okay. Movie's in a lot of trouble here. He tried to save the center base. Nope. It was doomed to fail. Doomed to die. There's a reason center bases are not taken all that much. Look who's taking the 9 o'clock over here. Larva is. Larva's like, yeah, man. I think a 9 o'clock base will suit me well. The 3 o'clock and the 12 o'clock and the 6 o'clock did great, so let's do that. Movie, if he... This kind of seems like he is... Oh my gosh, shuttle gets sniped. There was a Reaver in there. Oh my... The Reaver died. Okay. Reavers are not having a good time here, folks. And I don't know. I can't help but see this as an exercise in futility for movie anymore. He broke it once. He totally broke this front once and took this base down, but ever since then, Plague's been around, Dark Swarm has been around. His Reavers keep getting picked off by really nice micro from Larva. And a little bit of sloppiness from movie, but this looks like it's working, except there's a bajillion cracklings coming from the top, as you can see on the mini-map. Hang on, hang on. They're going to try to synchronize here with the Hydras coming down from the bottom right base, and this base gets eaten up. And yeah, I don't know. From a Protoss perspective, no. 3 obs getting sniped there for nothing. See, there we go. More Zealots to counter the Hydras. See what we're talking about. Pin them up against the wall. Hack them to death. Everything is fine. Trying to retake the center. No, say the Zerg. Shut it down. That's canceled. So it's a 2-basing movie right now versus... it's like a 1, 2, 3 kind of basing. Zerg, surprise. Larva doesn't have a lot of stuff going for him here. Not as much economy for him as I thought, but hey, we send in Zealots. 3-1 Zealots, no armor upgrades. 1 shield upgrade, which is an interesting one to have here, but okay, all right. Movie. Fighting, scratching, clawing his way back here, killing some drones. Down here at the, we'll call it the 3rd base, because it was the 3rd base once upon a time. It's not anymore, friends. Another ob dies to Hydras. Oh, gosh. Okay, Hatch dies for the 2nd time today. Movie's proved, you know, moderately capable of sniping this base. Another ob dies. I cannot tell you how many obs have died in this game, but I feel like it's at least 20. It's been a lot of observers just exploding in the skies here today. Yeah, Lurker high ground. Guess who has observers? Not Movie. Movie sure, he's got one. He's got 1 observer. And just not even trying a drop. Not even trying a Reaver drop at this base. This base would be so vulnerable to Reaver drop. Drop, snipe the Nidus, and everything else here dies. He's got shuttles, he's got Reavers, he has the recipe that one needs in order to drop a base like this. These Zealots, hey look, it's an actual attack on an expansion. But Nidus means infinite reinforcements, and by infinite I mean not infinite, but it feels like it, doesn't it, sometimes, when you're dealing with a base that has a Nidus at it. Alright, going up this ramp. There is exactly 1 Lurker in that stack. Plague-oo! Catching some of his own lings, but also catching the Zealots here. And that is a giant Plague. That is so sick. Alright, trying to unload the Reavers on the high ground to kill stuff, but then the shuttle gets sniped and Reaver goes down. I don't know if that was Storm that accidentally killed it or the Lurker that killed it, but all these Dragoon shots are just worthless against this swarm. And yeah, and this is a Beautiful hold down here by Larva. He's like, I gotta mine this base out. Wasn't able to do it the first time. Gotta do it this time. Movie expanding again would be neat. It's just sort of out of places to expand. It'd be funny if he expanded here. It would be really funny if he pulled that off. So 119 to 116 supply. Even is interesting. But the Scourge and the Dark Swarm are providing so much value here from Larva. I mean, it's 40 minutes. If we didn't have those researched by now, I think the Zerg player would simply just be dead. I don't know if you can make it to 40 minutes against somebody like Movie without Plague and Dark Swarm. I just don't know if it's possible. Preemptive Dark Swarms as we try to retake the third base for the third time today. Movie says, nah, we're just going to walk into these lurkers, take a Plague right to the face, use Dragoons to fire on stuff we can't do any damage to whatsoever. Let the Zealots through your chunky bodies. Oh my gosh, the Plague today. The Plague today. Another Dark Swarm. Ah. Nope. Nope. Nope, 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 no, no. Why are these Dragoons even involved in this battle? They shouldn't be here. They're just providing no value. I love that Movie's retaking the center, though. That's fantastic. That's really, really enjoyable. Storm kills the Lings and doesn't take down the Archon that's summoning here either. That's good. Storm, not exactly precise. Not a very precise instrument sometimes anyway. Archon comes out and gets exploded. Great. So he immediately dies. Scrapfest for sure. We are at a situation where things aren't great economically. I'm not sure that Movie has gotten up to 50 workers today. I want to say 45 is the most I've ever seen here. Are you trying to drop? Just thinking about it. Thinking about it. Hold your horses. Hold them. Gonna pick up this Reaver and maybe send him to the center to try to hold. This might be an endurance play from Movies. Like, all I have to do is hold on to the center, mine out this bottom left, and I think I can win economically here. Because Larva's mining out pretty quickly. I mean, this third base is gonna take a minute because it's died a lot, and that makes a base mine out, ooh, slower. Oh, she just plagued the Nexus. Did he really not get these cannons? Somehow he got like a probe and the Nexus with that Plague, but none of the cannons or this pylon caught the Plague. That's weird, man, dude. Scourge catching shuttles, no. Island, guys. It's an island. Dude, shuttles. Oh, I don't know. Bad rally. Nice ob snipe. What was that? Dude, you just walked? What the heck was that? That was a horrible, horrible drop. He unloads on top of two Sunkens. He gets the Nidus, which is very cool. Oh my gosh. The Lings, though. The Lings, the 1-2 Cracklings. They should have really had better upgrades, but I guess Larva's been a bit resource-starved today. Center, that cannon is not going to survive, and now the center is in a big trouble. In a big trouble? Oh, yeah. Nexus, storming it. Probes fighting, trying to save the Nexus. There's one final Ling trying to take this thing down by himself. If those were +3 Lings, I think they take that Nexus down. I do, but instead, they're only +1. Upgrades might really be problematic here. Okay, and then the Lings come from the top side. They get the job done. There you go. Good job, guys. Center Nexus dies. Movie's in a lot of trouble. 130 to 79 supply in favor of Larva here. GG. Movie taps out, and Larva is our winner in 44 minutes and 23 seconds. Good grief. Just absolutely good grief, man. I mean, that was definitely a crazy, crazy ZVP. I mean, I'm not... I don't know. I'm not sure. I just figured that I thought that movie was win, but that drop here was so bad. I don't think there was a drop here or a drop here or a drop here. Storm drops, Reaver drops, movie. Have you heard of them? Just dropping your Reavers right on top of two Sunkens. I do empathize with the fact that you needed to kill this Nidus Canal, but man, that was bad. I do give you credit for just mining out the center base. But yeah, once Plague got up, once Dark Swarm got up, Larva was so hard to break. It was not very cost efficient the way that we broke this, right? Broke this base. And yeah, at this point, Larva is just mining off of this base and this base. Well, and this base. So a 3-basing Larva at 44 minutes versus a 2-basing Protoss. And maybe this, but both the Nexuses died, so wow. Great game. Maelstrom, Storm, Reavers, Plague, and unupgraded Cracklings. Oh my, 378,000 points here versus 361. Zerg in the lead. Produced 1,166 Zerg units to 400 Protoss units. Kill death ratio is not quite able to keep up with that. And as far as resources go, 96,000 to 86,000 in a 44-minute game. So yeah, just outmining your Protoss opponent by 10,000 resources in a 44-minute game should not be enough. But right here, right? Outproducing by like a 3-to-1 ratio and getting out killed by basically like a 2-to-1 ratio. So very, very, very cost efficient, especially for a Zerg here from Larva today. All right. Man, well, that was something. That was something for certain. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.